Good evening, traveler. What a pleasure it is to have you join me tonight. How would you like some herbal tea? Perfect. I hope the campfire is keeping you plentiful warm. Please let me know if you need anything to suit your needs. I understand your travels have left you troubled. In my life, during troubled times, I would help myself relax by writing and reading poetry. Tonight, I will be reading some special poems for you. I'm very excited, and, admittedly, a tad nervous. I have not read poetry in front of an audience in, well, quite a while, so I hope you can understand. But, enough chat. Let's begin. This first one is one of my personal favorites. The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler. Long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth, then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though, as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same, and both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. This next one is Captain Beto's favorite. It'll make sense when I read the title. Oh Captain, My Captain, by Walt Whitman. Oh Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every wreck. The prize we sought is won. The port is near. The bells I hear. The people all exulting. While follow eyes the steady keel, the vessel grim and daring. But oh heart, 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 oh the bleeding drops of red, where on the deck my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. Oh Captain, my Captain, rise up and hear the bells. Rise up, for you the flag is flung, for you the bugle trills, for you bouquets and ribboned wreaths, for you the shores are crowding, for you they call the swaying mass, their eager faces turning. Here, Captain, dear Father, this arm beneath your head. It is some dream that on the deck you've fallen cold and dead. My captain does not answer. His lips are pale and still. My father does not feel my arm. He has no pulse nor will. The ship is anchored safe and sound, its voyage closed and done. From fearful trip, the victor ship comes in with object won. Exult, O shores, and ring, O bells. But I, with mournful tread, walk the deck my captain lies, fallen, cold, and dead. Let's keep this ship a sail, shall we? Ah, another classic. A Dream Within a Dream by Edgar Allan Poe. Take this kiss upon the brow, and, in parting from you now, thus much let me avow, you are not wrong, who deem that my days have been a dream. Yet if hope has flown away, in a night or in a day, in a vision or in none, is it therefore the less gone? All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. I stand amid the roar of a surf-tormented shore, and I hold within my hand grains of the golden sand. How few, yet how they creep through my fingers to the deep, while I weep, while I weep. Oh God, can I not grasp them with a tighter clasp? Oh God, can I not save one from the pitiless wave? Is all that we see or seem but a dream within a dream? Poe's poems are always so dramatic, can make it difficult to not want to shout when reading them. Anyways, this next one is Success is Counted Sweetest by Emily Dickinson. Success is counted sweetest by those who ne'er succeed. To comprehend a nectar requires sorest need. Not one of all the purple host who took the flag today can tell the definition so clear of victory as he defeated, dying, on whose forbidden ear the distant strains of triumph burst agonized and clear. That one was a bit of a shorter one. So let's read another of hers. Hope is the Thing with Feathers. Once again by Emily Dickinson. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could have bashed the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity it asked a crumb of me. This next one is another personal favorite of mine. Azy Mandus by Percy Bysshe Shelley. I met a traveler from an antique land who said, 2 vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor well those passions red which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them and the heart that fed. And on that pedestal these words appear: my name is Azy Mandus, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away. Another dramatic one. I love it so much. Let's take a quick intermission to read some haikus. I'm a big fan of haikus, as you know. Keep in mind, some of these haikus may not follow the proper structure due to translation. A mountain village, Maso Kashiki. A mountain village, under the piled up snow. The sound of water. Voices Rise by Natsume Soseki. Plum Flower Temple. Voices rise from the foothills. Winter Seclusion by Kobayashi Isa. Winter seclusion, listening that evening to the rain in the mountain. Fallen Leaves by Yosa Busan. Blowing from the west, fallen leaves gather in the east. Lighting one candle by Yosabu-san. The light of a candle is transferred to another candle. Spring twilight. The Old Pond by Matsuo Basho. An old silent pond. A frog jumps into the pond. Splash. Silence again. The Clear Day by Takahama Kyoshi. The clear day in the rainy season. The madder red of the twilight appeared and vanished instantly. A World of Dew, Kobayashi Isa. A world of dew, and within every dewdrop, a world of struggle. The Moon Beholders by Matsuo Basho. From time to time, the clouds give rest to the moon beholders. And finally, A Day in Spring by Masaoka Shiki. Toward those short trees, we saw a hawk descending on a day in spring. That's all I got for haikus, at least for now. She Walks in Beauty by Lord Byron. She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes, thus mellowed to that tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies. One shade the more, one ray the less, had half impaired the nameless grace which waves in every raven tress, or softly lightens o'er her face, or thoughts serenely sweet express. How pure, how dear their dwelling place, and on that cheek and o'er that brow, so soft, so calm, yet eloquent. The smiles that win, the tints that glow, but tell of days in goodness spent, a mind at peace with all below, a heart whose love is innocent. Sonnet 18. Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day? By William Shakespeare. You may have heard of him. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's fleece hath all too short a date. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed. And every fair from fair sometimes declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou oust. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade. When in eternal lines to time thou growst, so long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud by William Wordsworth. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze, continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. They stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft, when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude, and then my heart with pleasure fills, and dances with the daffodils. This next one will be the longest one I'll read this evening. The Wanderers by Robert Browning. Over the sea our galleys went, with cleaving prows and order brave, to a speeding wind and a bounding wave, a gallant armament, each bark built out of a forest tree, left leafy and rough as first it grew, and nailed all over the gaping sides, within and without, with black bull hides, seethed and fat and supplied in flame, to bear the playful billows' game. So each good ship was rude to see, rude and bare to the outward view, but each upbore a stately tent, where cedar pales and scented roe kept out the flakes of the dancing brine, and an awning drooped the mast below. In fold on fold of the purple fine, that neither noontide nor starshine, nor moonlight cold which maketh mad, might pierce the regal tenement. When the sun dawned, O gay and glad, we set the sail and plied the oar, but when the night wind blew like breath, for joy of one day's voyage more, we sang together on the wide sea, like men at peace on a peaceful shore. Each sail was loosened to the wind so free, each helm made sure by the twilight star, and in a sleep as calm as death, we, the voyagers from afar, lay stretched along, each weary crew in a circle round its wondrous tent, whence gleamed soft light and curled rich scent, and with light and perfume, music too. So the stars wheeled round, and the darkness passed. And at morn we started beside the mast, and still each ship was sailing fast. Now, one morn, land appeared, a speck, dim trembling betwixt sea and sky. "Avoid it," cried our pilot. "Check the shout, restrain the eager eye." But the heaving sea was black behind, for many a night and many a day, and land, though but a rock, drew nigh. So we broke the cedar pales away, let the purple awning flap in the wind, and a statue bright was on every deck. We shouted, every man of us, and steered right into the harbor thus, with pomp and paean glorious, 100 shapes of lucid stone. All day we built its shrine for each, a shrine of rock for ever one, nor paused till in the westering sun we sat together on the beach to sing because our task was done. When lo, what shouts and merry songs, what laughter all the distance stirs, a loaded raft with happy throngs of gentle islanders. "Our isles are just at hand," they cried, like cloudlets faint and even sleeping. "Our temple gates are opened wide, our olive groves thick shade are keeping for these majestic forms," they cried. Oh, then we woke with sudden start from our deep dream, and knew too late how bare the rock, how desolate, which had received our precious fright. Yet we called out, "Depart! Our gifts, once given, must here abide. Our work is done. We have no heart to mar our work," we cried. I told you that one was a longer one. You're not falling asleep on me now, are you? It's okay if you are. I only have a few more to read for you. There Will Come Soft Rains by Sarah Teasdale. There will come soft rains in the smell of the ground, and swallows calling with their shimmering sound, and frogs in the pools singing at night, and wild plum trees in tremulous white. Robins will wear their feathery fire, whistling their whims on a low fence wire, and not one will know of the war, not one will care at last when it's done. Not one would mind, neither bird nor tree, if mankind perished utterly, and spring herself, when she woke at dawn, would scarcely know that we were gone. Oily Weather by Ernest Hemingway. The sea desires deep holes. It swells and rolls. The screw churns a throb, driving, throbbing, progressing. The sea rolls with love, surging, caressing, undulating its great loving belly. The sea is big and old. Throbbing ships scorn it. Daylight and Moonlight by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. In broad daylight and at noon, yesterday I saw the moon, sailing high, but faint and white, as a schoolboy's paper kite. In broad daylight yesterday I read a poet's mystic lay, and it seemed to me at most as a phantom or a ghost. But at length the feverish day, like a passion, died away, and the night, serene and still, fell on village, vale, and hill. Then the moon, in all her pride, like a spirit glorified, filled and overflowed the night with revelations of her light. And the poet's song again passed like music through my brain. Night interpreted to me all its grace and mystery. Love and Friendship by Emily Bronte. Love is like the wild rose briar, friendship like the holly tree. The holly is dark when the rose briar blooms, but which will bloom most constantly? The wild rose briar is sweet in spring. Its summer blossoms scent the air. Yet wait till winter comes again, and who will call the wild briar fair? Then scorn the silly rose wreath now, and deck thee with the holly's sheen, that when December blights thy brow, he still may leave the garland green. I'll read one final poem for you. I won't tell you the name or author for this one, 'cause I want you to guess. We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. A full commitment is what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just want to tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. We've known each other for so long. Your heart's been aching, but you're too shy to say it. Inside, we both know what's been going on. We know the game, and we're gonna play it. And if you ask me how I'm feeling, don't tell me you're too blind to see. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. This poem has actually been all the rage in Inazuma. It recently won an award, actually. Quite impressive, I must say. Oh, it looks like you fell asleep. I'm glad that you can finally get some good rest. And that's the ASMR video. As I'm sure many of you are aware, I don't typically make ASMR content. I really only made this because we reached a milestone in a recent charity stream on Twitch. That being said, if this video does really well, and if you guys really like this type of stuff, I would not be opposed to trying more of it in the future. So let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments below. Again, I do not typically make ASMR content, but if you guys want to check out my other stuff, I am a VTuber. I go live on Twitch and TikTok quite often. I also am an impressionist and voice actor. I make a lot of content doing impressions of many different characters, especially Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail characters, since that's what got me popular. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you guys want to stick around, be sure to subscribe and check out my other content, because I plan on revitalizing this YouTube channel very soon. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a good night, and thank you for sticking around for this long.